Hello. Good morning. Happy Sunday. We are live again. I'm just waiting for Mindy to come on. We have a quick 30 minutes this morning. There's Mindy. Hello.
Hello.
There we are. How are you?
I'm good. Here we go. Oh, by side.
Ah,
Oh, that's so weird. I still have the little black lines even though I'm horizontal.
it is weird. Maybe the difference between the phone and the computer.
Could be. Could be. Could be.
Because
I also didn't set. I'm horizontal, but I didn't set my finger rotation.
Yeah. Okay, I've got a wider camera shot on Zoom than I do on Facebook.
Oh.
A little bit more here. So maybe that has to do with it.
Touchdown! Right? This is touchdown. Something like that.
Yes! Sports.
Cheers to Penny!
Cheers.
Yes.
So we do have a quick 30 minutes today, speaking of sports. Because we're heading outside and we just realized it's all of 50 degrees outside right now. Because it rained yesterday.
Oh, and you're saying it's all of 50 degrees. Oh, and I'm saying, oh, we had a picnic because it was 50 degrees outside.
Yeah, well, yeah. I'm just hoping it's not flooded out there and really wet.
Oh,
yeah.
No. That won't be fun. Yeah. We did not have
There we go.
We had
sun yesterday. People getting ready and stuff. We've got to cut off the kitchen there.
Oh, yeah. So we had almost 60 degrees yesterday, so we were thrilled and went outside.
Oh, nice.
Yes. Considering it was like 22 the day before. They're high, so.
Wow. That's a big difference. Although, yeah, a week ago it was 80. We're back in that. It gets up to 80, rains for a couple of days, and then it's back down to 60, 65, and it's back up to 80. It's February. February in the desert.
Pre-spring.
As long as it's not like it was at their first birthday when it was 95 on his birthday.
I know. My daughter's first birthday, after her birthday party, she got to have a bath on the back porch because it was so hot. Like, how do you cool this baby down?
We rented a Ramada at the park because we're like, let's have a park birthday because there's a cool playground over there.
Yeah.
And we all almost died, and the frosting on the cupcakes melted, and it was still fun, and the kids still had fun, but it was so hot.
Yeah.
Yep. So we're hoping it's not that hot.
It's that I know.
It's that time in March.
I know. Our babies are going to be 4 in 3 weeks.
No, they're not.
I know. My mom looked at her the other day and said she was always going to be petite, right? She was always going to still be tiny. She's turning 4 and she's growing out of size 4T clothes.
Mm-hmm.
Why is this happening? Well, which
Mama's
y'all are taller, so the expectation for your child to maybe not be in 4T clothes.
You're not short. You're not short.
No, I'm not short, but I'm not tall, and my daughter's dad is short.
Oh.
I'm taller than her dad.
Oh, okay.
So
I've never met your dad though either. No, well that's good.
My dad's like, well, he was like 6 feet tall, so he's not.
Your mom's not short either.
She's not. Well,
I mean, granted,
she's getting there.
When I say not short, yes, that's coming from that's also coming from you, like you said, where my husband's 6'3", my dad is 6'2", my uncle's 6'5", my aunt is 5'10", my mom was 5'8".
Yeah.
I'm 5'10", my sister's 5'9". Yeah, I was just happy that I could dig back into, because this year for the cold seasons, brain just stopped. For the cold seasons, buying him pants has been an experience because he's 4T, starting to even grow out of that length. But even cinching them all the way in, they're falling off his butt. So now I'm going back to his 24-month shorts and his 2T shorts that we still have because it's at least getting warm enough for shorts.
Yeah,
But that
and fit
also
around
means
the
I can
waist.
go back for this season. I could go back to the infant and toddlers that are a little less expensive too. I can wait at least another season.
Oh yeah, because okay, what is it with 4T that it just drops off? Like kids are never 4T? Like okay, we only
Yeah, it
have
depends on
one retail store. Well, there's I guess retail things at the drugstore. But we only have one retail store, period, besides the grocery store in my town. And, so there's not a lot of options. But there's not 4T, it's 4-5.
which is not a
small.
4T.
Right.
Yeah, the extra small
And when
4
you go to
5 is the
Walmart,
same size as a 5T.
Yeah, when you go to Walmart, there's baby up to 3T, and then big kids.
Mm-hmm.
Because kids don't exist in the 4-year-old stage.
Well, and the thing is, it's funny because a 5T and a 4-5 are supposed to be, this comes from me working retail in children ages ago. And at least in the store I worked at, the 5T and the 4-5 were the same size. The difference was the 4-5 was slightly longer, and the 5T was slightly wider because it was meant. I don't know what it was meant for, but they were approximately the same size. So for him, I could have gone to a 4-5 and at least gotten a little bit narrower, but I can't do that anymore. Like, I swear the 3T to the 4T, they not only did it, kids get taller, but they are supposed to get super, because I would think that it would get a little smaller because between 3T and 4T, depending on the child, and definitely in the 5T, that's when you start to lose diapers, typically.
Oh, yeah, that.
And it's like, well, just typically.
Yeah. To go from my kid who is tiny petite and even the like littlest cloth diapers she had to grow into until she was like almost 5 months old. But then she got potty trained a little over a year, and she'd been in cloth diapers, and she's still this tiny petite thing. At a year old, she was 15 pounds.
Right.
So she's potty trained. Where do you find panties for a little teeny tiny 15-pound butt?
You don't.
And where do you find pants? So she wore 9-month stuff on her bottoms forever because she didn't have any padding. But anyway, we talked business while we were sipping our coffee before we got on here, and now we're talking family.
Which actually kind of goes a little bit hand in hand. At least with our business. That's and with our side gig.
Yes.
At least my side gig has a lot to do with, and I know yours does too, with family, and that's why we got into it. And some of the pros being that we can spend the time too with them, do and help them grow.
Side gigs with sidekicks.
Yes, side gigs with sidekicks.
Or purposefully part-time, is that what Katie says? I think purposely part-time.
Yeah.
So working towards the side gig being the only gig, but knowing that the side gig can always be a side gig, and at least with our company, that's not something that you're punished for, which I love.
Right.
Because there are people who really love their day job.
Yeah.
Or have their own business, maybe a brick and mortar store, but still want something else. And so you can have both.
And you can, and I mean, I definitely have to say with this side gig, yes, I'm purposely part-time in it because I do love my day job. And I've never felt less than from the team that I don't, I'm not full-time into it, or that I don't live it and breathe it 24 hours a day, which I kind of do, because especially this time of year when I'm sitting in an office with cubicles squished together with everybody getting sick. And I keep a supply in my desk because I'm there 5 days a week too.
Right.
It's like I take it at work, not at home. So I keep a supply at work anyway. But I've been known to share, of course, carefully, because when you're in an office environment, you have to be careful too, politics. But there's a lot of other things to navigate there. But I kind of live it and breathe it. You know, I drink my shakes at work. I've got a magic bullet in my desk. I drink shakes at work. I make pudding at work. I don't go so crazy to make the balls at work, but when I eat balls.
My daughter loves protein ball pudding.
How do you do protein ball pudding?
She loves the chocolate peanut butter oatmeal version. And
Okay.
so I just make pudding. When I'm done making the pudding, which is plant-based milk, and the shake mix, I just take a spoon of sugar, She calls it chocolate sugar. The protein powder she calls sugar. So I'm not pouring my daughter a bowl of sugar, but that's what she says. I want chocolate sugar.
Okay.
She's getting 17 plant foods, not sugar. But it tastes that good. So then I mix in the plant milk, make it into a pudding consistency, take a spoonful of peanut butter, mix it in, throw in a little handful of oatmeal, mix it up. So it's a thicker consistency. But
got it. Okay. But
and
it's
then
not like it's protein balls. It's basically the same ingredients, just a little bit.
No, same ingredients, but I just make the regular pudding and then add the others. And then she usually has honey, but it has to be drizzled on top because it can't be stirred in. So however you would choose to do that, is you're right. But at our house, pudding, mix in peanut butter, mix in oatmeal, drizzle honey. Protein ball pudding. You're welcome.
I will have to try that, because I've done pudding at work, but that would just mean I have peanut butter at work because I do apples and peanut butter, so I keep a little container of peanut butter at work.
Yep.
So I would just need to have a little bit of oatmeal at work. That would work.
Yeah, that's a jar ingredient it keeps, but yeah,
that's the glory of our side gig too, is we get to teach our kids different things and take them with us.
Yes,
I mean, they came to Austin with us, right?
I know, and talk about it every week still. When are we going to go to Austin? We go to the Austin Hotel with Ollie. At the Austin Hotel, we get to have snacks. We can stay up all night at the Austin Hotel and talk with Ollie all night. We can stay up. Like we did.
Even though we were all in bed asleep by 9:30.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ollie still says, remember that time we went to the hotel with Eden? Oh my God. We're still on, everything is yesterday. Yesterday we were at the hotel. I guess.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
We'll go tomorrow again? Yes, we'll go
this
tomorrow.
Day, yeah, even this day, this day before, yeah, this day before, we did.
But one of his favorite shirts is still that shirt that I picked up. It's that shirt that I picked up in the swag area that I bought.
Yeah.
He still loves that shirt.
Good.
So he wears it out to the tournament.
Perfect. So that's another thing I love. One, that our side gig allows our sidekicks. They are totally a family-friendly environment. Different side gigs may not. You may want a side gig that you're a stay-at-home mom and you need a side gig that takes you away from the kids. Totally understand. there are a number of women in our group that when we go to national conference, that is their girls' weekend. Their hubbies and grandmas and nanas and whoever takes care of the kiddos, and they get to go and have girlfriend time.
Right.
Away, and that is fabulous. And maybe someday we'll have some girlfriend time. I don't know. Just suggesting Denver, June 4th. Anyway, but the thing that I wanted to point out about side gigs, no matter how you do it, whether it's community marketing, blogging, health coaching, whatever it is that you do on the side, one of the gals that I've been following and learned about through an event in Austin was Courtney Epps, and this more relaxed and less taxing. And she has started a movement about how you would be brained to not have a home-based business because of the tax advantages. And this book is packed full of really good things, and I'm not even quite done. But the ability to have expenses that you have to have be business expenses essentially lowers your tax liability. So you're going to pay a mortgage, you're going to pay utilities, you're going to pay for internet, whatever at your house. But if a portion of that is dedicated to a home-based business, then that portion is a business expense, can be paid by your business, and that reduces your tax liability. So you're going to pay it anyway. So what if a quarter of your mortgage every month was decreasing your tax liability by a company that's going to be making the money to pay that quarter, right? And the interesting thing that she points out is you don't have to be turning a profit to claim a home-based business. And claiming a home-based business does not flag you for auditing. What flags you for auditing is significant shifts in income. You will also survive an audit. I did. We had what should have been a home-based business, or could have been a home-based business, but was a personal company. In the year that I didn't do our taxes, we got audited. That's a whole other story. But anyway, this is a resource that I would highly recommend to anybody who already has a side gig, who has a home-based business, who wants to try to make some money on the side, who just wants to explore and see what is possible out there. She also has a Facebook group by the same name.
Oh, okay.
And gives all kinds of good tips. She has a membership area as well, like a monthly membership, and you get all kinds of tax advice for the price of the membership. I think the membership is like $39.99 monthly.
Well, that's not so bad.
Her girlfriend has grown her business. It was her and like 2 other people. Now she has like 20 employees this year.
Wow.
Because she talks about tax strategy, which is brilliant and something that most businesses I don't think about, which is a shame.
Well, I think that's one of the things, regardless of what the side gig is that you have, that is always left off, because most side gigs are either like a blogger, right? You're making your own money, however you're doing it in that, right? Yeah. Or your service business, so maybe you're a life coach or something like that. So there's no tangible, right? You have all these things, but you get trained on how to do the thing, not, and the same thing with anything that does have a tangible product, whether you have to have an inventory like a cosmetics, right? Network marketing, or something where the company holds, like ours, right? The company holds the inventory. You're taught more that end of it, see what is the product, how to do this, but not the other side of you having a business
Right.
that piece of it. That's the piece that's always left out. So I need to look her up because that's one of the things that I've started thinking about recently too. It's like, as things grow, what happens, right? Because we talked about Austin, right? That's a business trip, right? We get to bring our littles, which is awesome, but it's also a business trip. So kind of making a pleasure trip out of a business trip, and how do you then make that, especially if you do your own taxes, how do you claim that? How do you, right? I think that's a piece that's left off of a lot of side gigs and a lot of training, or it's hard to find, right? If you're making it on your own, I think of some of the business coaches and stuff out there that are, right, that have made it on their own and are successful. They had to feel out all that. Oh, okay. Sorry, there was a noise and I couldn't figure out what it was. It's a toy. But they had to figure those things out on their own. And I love that she has decided that she's going to come in, and she found this, her side gig is she found this missing piece, right? For those of us with side gigs. And I love trying to figure that. And that's something that's been on my mind a lot, because part of why I have a side gig is I love the product and I love what it's done for my family. And I do love my day job because I love what I can do for people through my job. And which I know it's interesting to think about that considering what I do. But well, because we deal with a lot with, yes, we deal with national businesses, but we deal with small businesses too. So maybe not the small gigs like us, but you know, the small coffee brewer, right? The small coffee roaster that wants to expand, those kind of things. And my thought, because I mean, I've been doing what I do for a while, been laid off a number of times because just the nature of the business that I'm in, it just happens. And the businesses that I've been in and worked for, it just happens. Layoffs happen, and it's hardly ever personal. Hardly ever personal. Sometimes it is. I get that. But, you know, having the idea, especially with a product that I love, that, and a company that I believe in terms of their mission and what they do for people, but it's also what happens if that happens again? There was one time I was out of work for a year, and we made it through. But do I want to just make it through if it were to happen again?
Right.
And then, you know, I'm young enough still, even though I'm older than I feel sometimes, or older than I want to be. Hey, Will. Hi. That, but, you know, given my age, I only have, you know, well, I have a lot of time still ahead of me work-wise. But still, I'm at the age where I have to think about, well, what happens then, right? So is it good to have a foundation that if on the day that I'm ready to walk away, which for any of my coworkers and my boss, if they're watching, is not today
or tomorrow
or tomorrow or next month. I'm talking, I mean, again, right. I've got 20 years or so still of work if I so choose.
Right.
But on that day, right, and in my business, it's like, do I have 20 years? But on that day, the 20 years come, or maybe it's 25 now, given the retirement age. So what happens then? And do I have, yes, we talk all the time about, you know, or we are trained all the time to talk about retirement plans and stuff. But these days, retirement plans are not what they used to be, even if you put money in them. Social Security can't be counted on, right? So it's like, what do you do? What's going to happen in 25 years? Right? And do I have, so finding that, don't click on that. So don't tap on that, sweetheart. If you click it, Aunt Mindy's going to go away.
Oh,
no. So, you know, knowing that, oh, look who it is. You know, and again, I don't think that my job's going to go away tomorrow. You know, I work for a good, successful company. We're growing. We have client, whatever. I don't see that happening soon, but Did I see some of my other layoffs happening? No.
Hi.
You know.
What, maybe one
Hi.
time you can sleep over. One,
Just one time. Can you come for a sleepover?
We want to come for a sleepover.
Yeah.
We'll come for a sleepover one time.
Yeah. She's dying for a redo. But yes,
I know,
multiple
so-
streams of income is really smart. Residual income is amazingly smart. And this business that we're in, at upper levels gives you corporate level benefits, which is amazing. If you ever wanted to walk away from it, you can sell your company, you know, the business that you've created back to the company, which, you know, you don't, when you walk out of Joe Q Public Corporation, you don't get to sell back your time that you spent there and have them give
Right.
you this huge chunk of money, right? So I love that as well. I love the business because it is,
I like that hat too.
you like my hat too.
Yeah.
Personal development. It enriches my life in a lot of different ways. Parting the hair, people.
That's what we need. We need to talk to Katie. We need mini kale hats.
We do need mini kale hats.
We need mini
Katie,
kale hats.
Katie, get on it.
Anyway, but yes.
Team
'Cause we're-
swag,
yeah, we're getting
by the way. This was a
Yeah, I had my. I don't. Mine's over there.
a prize for going to our first national convention from our amazing leaders, whom we love dearly. And my daughter was there when I got the kale hat, which I love. Are you done? Okay.
What is this for?
And that was in Phoenix, where Auntie Kirka is. But
Then how did it get here?
Mommy brought it up here. It's what I use to keep my headphones together, okay? You can play with it.
You gonna get changed so we can go? Oh, you. I see. You have pants on. Okay.
I want to kiss this girl.
Okay.
But what I wanted to say is you can do something that you love. You can do it from home. It can be a tax benefit for you, regardless if you make the, you know, something like 80% of people in community marketing make $50 a year. So even if you make $50 a year, you could have $3,000 worth of tax benefit out of it.
Right.
And I'm not saying, you know, go spend $3,000 to make 50.
Right.
That's not wise.
I was doing that.
But,
Yeah.
you know, things can dovetail. The things that you learn about yourself and the way that you learn and grow in this business can,
Mm-hmm.
oh my goodness, are they both worms or what? Squiggly wiggly.
Well, I mean, I have definitely learned different things about myself and my capabilities through this that have helped me.
And then it's
in my
benefited
day
you
job.
in your day job, right? So
And
they
vice
don't have
versa.
to be.
Stop. Please stop throwing those around. Okay.
Ow.
So it can benefit both directions. And I really am just a fan of multiple streams of income. And I love that some of this is technically passive. It helps me a lot. It is something that I believe in. I love the connection with our team. And even in moments like this, I'm beyond grateful that little miss gets to be part of it, that I get to teach her, you know, what it means to, hey, don't pull. What it means to follow through on your dreams, what it means to invest in yourself and invest in your life. Hey, Mommy's
Can I get my dirty
pain. How come Nanny let you up here anyway?
Can I get
Oh, where did you go?
Can I get my really pig?
Singing.
And man didn't hear me either.
They started singing under his breath too. But I mean, and finding something that you can do, you know, if you do have littles, right? You know, finding that side gig or full-time gig that you can, what are you doing? That you can sit and have fun with them too. You know, that,
Yeah.
hey, what are you doing? You're just getting yourself on camera, aren't you?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Anyway. So, I mean, I know of a few side gigs that, you know, this one I love being a part of. There's others out there that, you know, you always have to consider, and you know, you still have to consider, you know, in the end, we represent a specific company, right, in our side gig. So it's also, you know, before you make the decision, really research the company if you're going to go that way. Now she's gonna play football, and then, or, you know, try to start one on your own, just looking into, you know, so that you don't, we work for ourselves in the end with this side gig, but we do represent a specific company name, and there is some responsibility to do with that.
There's a day.
Yes. What is
There's a horse doing this.
okay?
Oh,
He's
horse.
playing with Sarah. So, but if that's not even your thing, then, you know, find something that sparks joy in you that you can do on your own, so it's your own. It is sticking on you. Okay. So,
what is her doing?
but, you know, if it's just a blog or it's just something like that that you can kind of start, it's amazing how many successful bloggers just started doing it in their spare time at night after the kids went to sleep. So, if you have any interest in what we do and the company we're a part of, definitely let us know. And if you have any tips that you found, if you have a side gig that, or a side gig that has become your full-time gig. Full-time as in, you don't have to be spending 50 hours a week on it. If you found that gold recipe where it could be part-time, but it's your full-time income stream, right? Because isn't that a perfect scenario where you're only working 20 hours a week, but you have it coming in
hours
like
a week
making, yeah, exactly. So if you found that, definitely comment, let us know, and we can talk about this more another time too. Do you have any recommendations on books too?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have my pile here because I believe in tax strategy. If you're gonna put effort into making money of any kind or trying to make money of any kind, you should pay attention to how to keep the most of it, how to make it work for you. Like we talked about, every year we have the opportunity for at least 2 family fun trips, which are in part tax write-offs because it's part of our business. It's part of our business growth. And we get to see people that we love. Our kids get to have playtime with lots of aunties and hopefully some uncles and things along the way, and grandmas and all of that. But we get to enrich ourselves, and that gets to be an expense for our business, which lowers our tax liability. I love this because I'm a woo-woo girl. Or things by Gabby Bernstein. Fire starter sessions by Daniel Laporte to figure out how and where and what you're going to aim at.
I haven't started it yet because I'm still reading Universe.
Oh, yeah.
And I started 2 less in the meantime.
Yes, so. And then that's my other thing. If you are, well, anybody, I think men benefit from this as well. Chris Britton and Ryan Yukome talk a lot about masculine and feminine in business and life and how to make your essence work for you. But this is smart. It's written by Kate Northrup, but she works with her husband. And he still is
It's more about-
part of what
yeah.
happens here. I mean, he doesn't track his menstrual cycle because he's a man, but
Right.
men cycle on a daily basis. And so
Right.
paying attention to that circle of time and the cycles of time and life makes sense for a man as well. It just is a 24-hour basis instead of a 28-day.
Yeah.
If
And I
you're going
have
to
to
work
say,
for yourself, work smarter, not harder. Or work
and if you can
smarter
find
while
stuff
you're
like
working
this,
harder.
okay, and that's all about business specific in your cycles, but also stuff like this. Now, I haven't fully started this yet, but I love her. Felicia Day. She's with, so she's part of the Geek crew. She's a gamer. She's part of all that. And I'm not saying specifically her. I'm not getting paid to endorse this, but what I love about the stories or where she goes is, and this just fits into finding your side gig, embracing who you are. This one is specifically Embrace Your Weird. Her first book was You're Never Weird on the Internet, almost. Because it's her whole thing, that was more of a memoir kind of autobiography.
Right.
This is, it says, entertaining and revelatory exercises that empower you to be fearless so you can rediscover the things that bring you joy. So it's like, so also looking at, those are looking specifically at how you do it, right?
Right.
Your taxes, how you do, finding your cycles, finding your rhythm. This is also finding your, find somebody that you like to read. I love reading her take on things. But it's, also looking at, find what brings you that joy, right?
Yeah.
So embrace who you are to find that gig, whether it's connecting with a company or a brand that has a product that you believe in and has a mission you believe in, or it's, this is what I can bring to the world. Like, I think of Daniel Laporte or Amanda Frances, where it's like, this is what I can bring to the world. This is I'm not saying they're weird. I'm just saying they found their joy and their piece of what they can tell people. And that's how they're bringing it. And that's how they develop their side gig, which is now their gig, right? It's, finding, reading books like that, where it's
I'm just fixing.
finding that
like,
thing that you want to do so that you can learn to do your taxes around it. So you can learn, how you can maneuver and find your cycles through it. So, looking at those things as opposed to trying to piece yourself and go, I need to find a side gig. So, here's one, right? It's,
Or my friend did this, so I have to do it.
Right. Which I've done. I've done a few network marketing companies, which I thought, right. And
Just
what?
Because you love a product doesn't mean that you'll love sharing the product.
Right.
And maybe you will love sharing it by supporting the person that introduced you to it, which is totally awesome. And I'm totally game for that too, Right.
Well, and it's trying to figure that out. It's like, what brings you joy before you find the product that you want to get into? So that when that opportunity, right, somebody brings it to you, whether it's somebody you love or just something that you happen to use on a regular basis, that opportunity comes, you know what? That does not fit into it. I love using it, right, or something, but it's not something I want to do. I'd prefer to do something on my own and blog, right? I think reading those types of books can help you kind of, like Daniel Laporte's book too. She has a book. She has an awesome book, right? It doesn't tell you how to do business. It just talks about you and finding your creative passion and stuff. So I think there's a lot of opportunities there. So so that was my pile of 2 reads that's on my desk too, which is different than my pile of 2 reads that's on the book queue. But I've got a lot of them. But if you have any thoughts, I did figure out what was going on with the recordings, so I should be able to share them and get them up on YouTube this week. Please don't do that on top of my trackpad, Ollie. Okay, please. Thank you. The Lego minifig,
Awesome.
or
Okay.
using it as a slide, which means we could pick that up. So put in the comments your thoughts, or any recommendations you have, any questions you have. Like I said, we can DM you if you are interested to hear what our side gig is.
Yep. If you missed part of this, we'll be on YouTube. Yay!
Yay! Yes, I think I figured it out. Now I just have to make sure it uploads. So I have to try to get it uploaded. But I did find
one
the
step at a
MP4
time.
format of last week. So
Awesome.
every step forward, even if the baby step.
Yep. All right. Take
All right.
care. Happy archery in the mud. We'll see you next week, right?
Yeah,
Talking about something. Sharing
about
coffee.
something. We'll let you know by someday this week.
Wednesday, maybe.
Wednesday.
That's
Let's
what we
just
aim
try,
for.
yeah, we're trying to let everybody know by Wednesday what the topic's gonna be. So.
Yep.
Okay.
Alrighty. Take care.
Have
Cheers.
a good Sunday. Cheers.
Bye.
Bye.